Anyway, that's all bullshit. I'm here to talk about somebody who I love, somebody who's a comedy legend in Gainesville, somebody with an enormous amount of talent. But enough about me, let's talk about this fat prick. When you're on stage and you get that interaction with the crowd, you get that immediate gratification, you get that feedback, only it's without the alcohol, but you still get the rush. You know, you get a rush like, well, initially it's nervousness, but when the nervousness goes away and you get better at it, more experienced at the comedy, then you get the rush of the comedy, you know, and Jesus, nothing like it. I mean, you know, when 200 people are laughing at what you're saying, and then you're feeding off of that energy, and you just roll with it, and then it gets more intense, and it's a terrific feeling, you know. That back door opened right now, and an unshaved, unattached vagina just crept into there. And just started inching its way slowly across the floor, you know? No man out there is going to get turned on. As a matter of fact, one of you is probably going to hit it with a fucking shovel. I don't know what kill that fucking thing before it gets out of here. If you're not real, if you're not yourself, if you're not on stage, if you're phony, people smell it. You're not going anywhere. You can't steal jokes because you can't steal somebody else's persona. So you got to be you. And frankly, I think my life has been hilarious. One of the reasons being I have a mental disorder. You know, I'm always up. I'm always manic. I'm always high. I'm never down. I'm never so. My mind races, I got ADD, there's a lot of things going on in there, it's ruled by committee, and I've had a lot of fun. Like, you know, I've gone with that, and I've dealt with it all my life, but it's also put me in a lot of precarious situations where other people might find downright funny, you know. Certainly not funny for my wife or my kids or anybody who was close to me, but situations that were kind of awkward.
I guess one of the first things, or the hardest things to do when you're starting out in stand-up is like picking a persona, like how you're going to present yourself. And Bill had that from day one. He's basically himself, and most of us aren't interesting enough to pull off just being ourselves and to be able to engage an audience. But you know, he has a lifetime of, you know, he ran a bar, so like dealing with people one-on-one. So he has just a life experience that we don't have.
Now, like I said, I love your generation, but with all the texting and Twitter and all this shit, you don't talk anymore, you know? And one thing that's even a bigger assault on the English language is rhetorical questions, you know, questions that don't need an answer. I hate rhetorical questions, like why don't you go fuck yourself? That's a rhetorical question. Most of my comedy comes from real life, and I think that resonates with the people in the audience, you know, they know that it's not, they know I couldn't be that good a writer. You couldn't make up some of the things I'm saying on that stage. You know what I mean? You just couldn't. I mean, you'd have to be so keen to be able to have an imagination like that. And I'm just not that good. Comedy is writing. It's like you write it makes you savage when you're editing your own stuff. Like initially every writer, when he writes something, it's so painstaking to write it that he thinks there's something sacred about a sentence. Well, when you do comedy, you might write a 10-minute short story, and you got to reduce it to 30 seconds. And you better get a laugh after the first 15. So you edit your stuff savagely. I think they call it killing your darlings. Well, you have no hesitancy to kill your darlings when you write comedy. The writing and the comedy, this energy that I talked about, this mania, and that's what mania is, it's energy. I used to channel it into gambling, into drinking, into drugs, into you know, just insanity. And now I find that I can taper it and channel everything into my writing.